is Canberra is enjoying AAA rating, and we should really, cash on that, and having that NBN and the infrastructure in Gungahlin will boost all these ICT companies to have all those facilities available.
Okay, thank you. All right, so the incubator we're close to running out of time, so be very quick, please.
We think that's a great idea, and it's certainly something worth looking at, and indeed we should be capitalising on, on the NBN.
Okay. Look, I'm obliged to. I know that lady has that around. I'm going to let you take your question if it's a quickie.
That and also the lady up in the back row has been waiting.
Back row?
Quite a while.
Okay.
Thanks.
Right.
I'd actually appreciate, I don't want to be held down with this one, but I really am asking just Liberal and Labor this question. What plans, I missed the first part of this meeting, what plans are there for a new public school like the one at Harrison in the Gungahlin area? And the reason I ask this is that my daughter lives in Palmerston and she can't get her 3 children into the Harrison school. I've been told only one can possibly go. That it is actually quite full, and I know that a lot of the other schools in the area are full as well, and she wants to get her 3 children into that and cannot, even though her children are with me almost every day at Franklin of the day of the week, trying her children in there. She's been refused and told her child has got the Gold Cook one.
Okay, so
Now, I'd like to know what plans there are, and I know that Labor has announced in the people at the places, so that over many years it's not going to be released, and that school is already full already.
All right. So quickly. I'm sorry, the question was directed at the Liberal. Given the time, I'd like to finish on that. Sorry? Sorry, I'm just reading what the question asked. So, on the right, one of you would like to respond, please?
With our public schooling system, we have to have priority enrolment zones, and my understanding is Palmerston is zoned for Gold Creek, and certainly there is enrolment pressure on some of the schools. There is money in this budget, over this year and next year, to Harrison, Palmerston, Bonner and Amaroo. But I think it's important that if we have priority enrolment zones, we're able to, we have to abide by them. We're certainly building a new school in Taylor, and we're certainly aware of other enrolment pressures, and we'll be making further announcements around schools in Gungahlin in the coming weeks.
Thank you, Megan. Someone else from the Liberals?
I think the capacity issues are very significant, and it seems sometimes in some of the government's rhetoric that as if it's been a surprise that there are 50,000 people living in Gungahlin, when it was always going to be considerably more than this. So we do need to make sure the infrastructure does keep pace. I think there are problems with Franklin Primary School finishing at year 2. And the problems that also causes for Palmerston Primary and for other schools that are at capacity. So I think it's also a matter, I think, of encouraging and improving the Belconnen schools, because there are a lot of Belconnen students or Belconnen residents that are coming to Gungahlin schools as well. So we need to have a system-wide approach to this. I don't think we can continue looking at schools in isolation or picking winners. We've got to make sure that the entire education system, especially at a regional level, are working appropriately, because when you just do an ad hoc, just go school by school, all you end up doing is shunting the problem or shunting the capacity issues to another place.
Okay, right. Thank you. No. Well, we've had a response from your side. I'm sorry. We are at time. I noted Casey, so we'll give you the honour of the last question for the evening, given that we do have. Well, that means it just stops the formal part of the evening, that's all.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of the questions that have been asked tonight could be called divisive. I won't call them a roast, though I possibly could. This question is one about an issue that is divisive through the rest of the country, but Canberra is leading the way, and all of the parties that make up government at the moment are leading the way and have shown bipartisan support, and that is the world-leading strong climate action that Canberra is showing. So all parties have committed to 100% renewables and 40% emission reductions by 2020 and zero net emissions by 2050. And I commend all of the three parties for those positions or stronger in the Greens case. Thank you. Thank you very much. With regards to community consultation, which has been talked about before, I'm wondering, if you are elected, once you make government, what is your plan for community consultation and otherwise to start to implement and make a credible plan out of those targets? So to the three parties forming government, Labor, Liberal and Greens.
All right. Labor, Liberal and Green. Sounds good in that order.
Thanks for the question. And can I just commend Minister Corbell for his work on the environmental over many, many years. He's retiring into this term, and we owe him, the Territory owes him a great debt. In relation to consultation, I'd like to see a more permanent presence in the electorate for MLAs rather than us all being in the Assembly there. Now, this has been covered many times. It was decided that it would be too expensive to do that, but I've been having discussion with Andrew Lee, who's the federal member for Fenner, which is our federal electorate, and about the possibility of having some sort of ability to use whatever premises he might get if he was prepared to move out here and to make some contribution to that. So it's in early days, but I think it then allows people, when the itch hits them, to scratch it right there and then, if we can have some sort of presence in the electorate. So.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of scepticism about government consultations at the moment, and I think especially when it involves ballot, we've seen I think many times whereby there seems to be a bit of a gamesmanship, whereby especially in some of the projects elsewhere in Canberra, whether it's City to the Lake or Manuka Oval or Red Hill or Yarralumla, I think sometimes there's this gamesmanship where the government says it's going to be 800 or 900 apartments, and then when they reduce it to 500 or 600, they expect to be thanked as if it's some sort of concession. I think we need to make sure that, especially with regard to planning, that we have genuine planning documents that go well into the future. At present, the Territory Plan is hardly a plan. It's actually just a point of time description of land use because it gets changed so often. So making sure that we've got genuine plans in place means that the consultation hangs off something. And it means it actually is an anchor point. Whereas at present, I think in so many different areas, whether it's health or education or in planning, there just seems to be ad hoc decision making, and therefore there's no confidence that the consultation will actually go towards anything meaningful.
The Greens?
One of the underlying fundamental principles of the Greens is participatory democracy. So I can assure you that we would stick with that principle. We would be exploring various ways of consulting with the community around a range of issues, and of course it would depend very much on what the issues were as to how we might consult on those issues. So to some extent it has to be sort of either issue or constituent specific. So we are proposing things like a disability advisory committee, for example, to assist with urban planning. Because if we can develop urban areas that are accessible for people with disabilities, then they'll be accessible for everybody. We're also talking about community budget processes where general people in the community have a say about reviewing the budget process. And also we would continue to do, focus groups, roundtables, one-on-one discussions. I mean, I've certainly been out and about talking to a lot of people over the past few months, and I'd be quite happy to continue doing that because I really enjoy it.
Thank you. Only 15. Seriously, we need to be moving out.
Yeah, no worries. One of the things that I love is data. You can do a lot with data, and I want to make a lot more data accessible to the public. Things like, the environmental things that we're just talking about, the how we're going for emissions. We can make all this government data that we own, transparent and publicly available, and see how the public consumes that data. I've been talking to Megan recently about getting more access to bus data so that so that the public can see more about what's going on with our public transport. And I see the same type of thing as a solution to a lot of aspects of government.
I can see our open data being used by the entrepreneurship in Gungahlin and then delivered as part of the Smart Work Centre and massive new public transport and road facilities everywhere. Thank you very much, candidates, for coming out en masse. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you, all of you. It's always hard to come out on a weeknight when you're working, and I was terrified that we'd have 10 people, fantastic auditorium of 275, and we'd look awful. It's actually looked pretty good tonight, and I think it's been a lively debate. A lot of topics we haven't covered, and you just wonder how it is just a demonstration how hard it is for all of these guys to be across all of the issues that you all care about. Because we've covered a lot tonight, and I still don't think we've covered everything we could or should. So, again, thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you for John Paul College for their support in getting us in here and set up. And I guess we're going to talk a little bit more, but I will ask people to start moving out because we've got to lock up and finish up. Thank you very much again.
And just on behalf of the candidates, I just wanted to thank Gungahlin Community Council for hosting us tonight.
That's okay. Our pleasure. We get paid to do this. Oh, that's right, we don't get paid. Yeah, it's my AV person. Thank you, AV person.